Are you starting your day feeling stiff? Do you notice that your first few steps from the bed to the kitchen are slow, maybe even a little unsteady? Most men over 60 write this off as just another part of getting older. A little morning stiffness, nothing to worry about. But what if I told you that this specific way you walk that short shuffling gait you've adopted without even realizing it is silently choking the life out of your prostate? What if that simple, seemingly harmless habit is a primary driver of the inflammation, the constant nighttime bathroom trips, and the frustrating decline in your masculine vitality? My name is not important. What is important is that for over 2 decades, as a men's health and vitality coach, I have seen thousands of men come to me with the same complaints: low energy, a weak stream, and a feeling that their body is failing them. They've tried supplements, diets, everything, but they've overlooked the single most fundamental mechanical action they perform every single day: walking. Today, I'm going to pull back the curtain on a secret that most doctors never discuss. It's not about what you eat or what pills you take. It's about how you move. I will reveal the 3 devastating ways your current walking style is inflaming your prostate, and then show you the simple, powerful adjustment, what I call the prostate power walk, that can begin to reverse the damage, improve blood flow, and restore comfort, often in a matter of weeks. Stay with me, because the way you walk out of your bedroom tomorrow morning could be the first step toward reclaiming the health you thought was gone for good. Let's start with the most critical element for any man's health: blood flow. Think of the arteries leading to your pelvic region as a set of garden hoses. For your prostate to be healthy and for your erections to be strong, those hoses need to be wide open, allowing a powerful flow of oxygen-rich blood. Now, think about how most men over 60 begin to walk, especially when they're tired or stiff. The steps get shorter, the feet barely lift off the ground. It becomes a shuffle. The hips don't fully extend, and the posture slumps forward. This isn't just a sign of age. It's a mechanical disaster for your pelvic circulation. The simple science: when you walk with a short, shuffling gait, the major muscles in your legs and glutes, the powerhouse muscles that act as a secondary pump for your circulatory system, are barely activated. More importantly, the constant forward slump and hip flexion can physically compress the critical iliac and femoral arteries. This creates a bottleneck. Blood flow to the entire pelvic bowl, including the prostate and penis, is physically restricted. Your body is trying to send life-giving blood and nutrients down there, but your posture and gait are clamping the hose shut. This chronic lack of circulation leads to what's called hypoxia, a state of oxygen deprivation in the tissue. Hypoxia is a primary trigger for inflammation, and an inflamed prostate is a swollen, irritated prostate. Let me tell you about Robert. He was a 68-year-old retired accountant who came to me complaining of a persistent coldness in his groin and a feeling of numbness that was destroying his confidence. He shuffled when he walked, his shoulders hunched forward from decades at a desk. He thought it was just poor circulation from old age. I explained the clamped hose analogy to him. He was skeptical. How could something as simple as walking be the cause? I gave him one instruction. I called it the prostate power walk. The first step was to walk with longer, more intentional strides. Instead of shuffling, he had to consciously lift his feet and extend his leg behind him, feeling a stretch in his hip flexors. He had to swing his arms and walk with his chest up. The morning emphasis. Why is this so crucial in the morning? Because after 8 hours of lying relatively still, your circulation is at its most sluggish. Your first movements of the day set the circulatory tone for the next 12 hours. A morning shuffle tells your body to keep the hoses clamped, but a 5-minute prostate power walk, even just around your house, flings the floodgates open. It's like turning on the main valve, forcing fresh, oxygenated blood deep into the pelvic tissue, flushing out inflammatory byproducts, and waking up the entire region. Within 2 weeks of starting his morning power walks, Robert called me. "The warmth is back," he said. "It's a feeling I haven't had in years." He didn't change his diet. He didn't take a single pill. He simply unclamped the hose. Now, let's move from the plumbing to the foundation. Your prostate doesn't just float in your body. It's supported by a hammock of muscles at the base of your pelvis, known as the pelvic floor. The health of these muscles is directly linked to urinary control and prostate comfort. When these muscles are weak and tight, they can put pressure on the prostate and the urethra, leading to all the classic symptoms of BPH, a weak stream, urgency, and the feeling that you never fully empty your bladder. So, how does walking tie into this? The same slumped, shuffling posture we just discussed is the #1 enemy of a healthy pelvic floor. The simple science. When you stand and walk with a slumped posture, your core disengages. Your glutes turn off. To keep you from falling over, your body compensates by creating tension. Where? Often in the deep pelvic floor muscles. Simultaneously, the lack of proper hip movement means these muscles never get the gentle, rhythmic contraction and relaxation they need to stay strong and flexible. They become like a tight, weak fist, constantly squeezing the area around your prostate. This creates a state of chronic tension that exacerbates inflammation and chokes the urethra. Let me tell you about Michael, a 72-year-old former teacher. His life was dictated by the bathroom. He couldn't sit through a movie without getting up twice. He told me, "I feel like my bladder is the size of a thimble." He walked with a noticeable forward lean, his head pushed out in front of his body. He was the classic example of a pelvic floor collapse. The second component of the prostate power walk I taught him was to focus on posture. Before he took a single step, he had to stand tall, pull his shoulders back, and, most importantly, gently squeeze his glutes. Activating the glutes is the secret key. It automatically helps to level the pelvis and allows the pelvic floor to relax into its natural, supportive position instead of being in a state of constant, panicked tension. The morning emphasis. Your posture in the first hour of the day sets your neuromuscular blueprint for the rest of the day. If you wake up and immediately slump into that forward-leaning shuffle, you are training your body to maintain that pelvic floor tension all day long. However, if you start your day by consciously standing tall, engaging your glutes, and walking with an upright posture, you are re-educating your muscles. You're teaching your body a new default position of strength and openness, taking that chronic, strangling pressure off your prostate from the moment you wake up. Michael started with just 10 minutes of this mindful, upright walking every morning. After a month, he came back to my office. "It's the strangest thing," he said. "I feel like my bladder has doubled in size. I slept for 5 straight hours last night for the first time in a decade." He hadn't done a single Kegel exercise. He had simply changed the mechanical environment in which his prostate lived. We've talked about bringing the good stuff in, blood flow, and providing proper support, pelvic floor. Now we have to talk about taking the bad stuff out. Your body has a secondary circulatory system called the lymphatic system. Think of it as your body's garbage disposal, or sewage system. It's responsible for clearing away cellular waste, toxins, and inflammatory proteins. But unlike your blood, which has a powerful heart to pump it, your lymphatic system is passive. It relies on the contraction of your muscles to move fluid along. And this is where that shuffling walk delivers its final, devastating blow. The simple science. The deep muscles in your legs, hips, and core act as the heart for your lower body's lymphatic system. Every time you take a long, powerful stride and your calf muscle contracts, it pumps lymphatic fluid up. Every time you engage your glutes, you're squeezing stagnant fluid out of the deep pelvic tissues. A short, shuffling walk provides almost zero pumping action. The result is lymphatic stagnation. Inflammatory waste products, which should be flushed out, begin to pool around the prostate, creating a toxic, swamp-like environment that fuels chronic inflammation and tissue swelling. Let me tell you about Frank. Frank was 65 and complained of a constant, dull ache and a feeling of pressure in his perineum. Doctors couldn't find anything specifically wrong, but the discomfort was always there. His walking style was lethargic, with very little energy or power. He was living in a state of lymphatic stagnation. The final piece of the prostate power walk I taught him was to focus on the push-off. As he took a step, he needed to consciously push off the ground with the toes of his back foot, feeling his calf and glute muscles contract forcefully. It's the difference between just falling forward into the next step and actively propelling yourself forward. The morning emphasis. During the night, as you lie still, lymphatic fluid naturally pools in your lower body due to gravity. This is why you might feel extra stiff or puffy in the morning. That first walk of the day is the single most important opportunity to get that stagnant fluid moving. A powerful walk with a strong push-off acts as a full system flush. It's like turning on the garbage disposal after a long night, clearing out all the inflammatory gunk that has accumulated, giving your prostate a clean, healthy environment to function in for the rest of the day. Frank described the change as a lifting of pressure. After about 3 weeks of his morning pump walks, the constant ache began to subside. He felt lighter. He was no longer allowing his prostate to sit in a pool of its own inflammatory waste. Now, you might be thinking of these as 3 separate issues: blood flow, muscle support, and waste removal. But the real magic happens when you understand that they are all part of one interconnected system. This is the power of synergy. When you adopt the prostate power walk, you aren't just doing one thing. You're creating a powerful positive feedback loop. The improved posture allows the arteries to open up, which enhances the blood flow. The powerful strides and muscle contractions not only pump out lymphatic waste, but also act as that secondary heart to drive even more blood into the pelvic region. The fresh, oxygenated blood helps reduce inflammation, which allows the pelvic floor muscles to relax. The relaxed muscles take pressure off the prostate, which allows for better fluid exchange and less stagnation. Each element amplifies the others. It's not 1 + 1 = 3. It's 1 + 1 + 1 = 10. You are fundamentally changing the entire ecosystem of your pelvis from a stagnant, compressed, and toxic environment to one that is open, nourished, and clean. This is how real, lasting healing occurs. You now hold the knowledge. You understand the devastating link between a simple, unconscious habit, a shuffling, slumped walk, and the prostate problems that may be plaguing you. You see that the solution isn't in a complicated machine or an expensive pill. The power is in your own 2 feet. The choice is yours. You can continue to walk the way you always have, allowing that slow, grinding pressure to build day after day. Or you can make a new choice, starting tomorrow morning. Don't try to be perfect. Don't feel overwhelmed. I want you to make a simple commitment. For the next 14 days, just focus on one thing when you get out of bed. Walk with your chest up and your shoulders back. That's it. Just start there. Feel the difference it makes. Once that feels natural, focus on taking slightly longer strides. Then, think about that powerful push-off. Progress, not perfection. Every intentional step you take is a step toward reclaiming your health, your comfort, and your confidence. You have so much more power over this process than you've been led to believe. If this video has opened your eyes, please click the like button to help this message reach other men who need to hear it. Subscribe to the channel for more truths about men's health that nobody else is talking about. And I want to hear from you in the comments below. Which part of the prostate power walk are you going to try first? The upright posture, the longer stride, or the push-off? Your journey starts with that first step. Make it a powerful one.